by height.
I have it in my contract. I get my own table.
Yeah. I split the middle. Troy likes to sit on the crack.
Too much information.
Waka.
There's still people coming in.
People are drinking coffee. One of them.
Is this the bus to Reno? I'm just asking.
Just want to fill this room up, and then we can start pumping the gas in, and you guys will all die. Sorry.
I feel like I need to get closer to my microphone.
I just want to make sure that I might. Oh, it's fine, okay? Can you hear me? I just want to make everything comes up just fine.
Fred does that the best. Fred Tatasciore.
Yeah, Fred does, but nobody likes Fred.
No, guys, we like what you did. I mean, just give us a quick second. We're just going to discuss it real quick. ECAST, Nolan North, Richard Epcar, and is there what? Here we go. Here we go. Already it's starting.
Already. Find a spot.
By the way, does anyone have an idea to pitch to Nolan later on? Because he would like to.
Wow. He's open to pitches.
I heard a few.
I have a question. Do we have a scarecrow back there? Yeah. Is it a femme scarecrow?
A femme
I didn't want to insult you. I wasn't sure.
It's
the
not.
The voice maybe was a little prepubescent. What? Hurry, you almost missed everything.
Now we have to single you out.
I once dated a female scarecrow, but that's another story.
This is great. This is a new gen Two-Face.
It's a lazy version.
New wave
Yeah, but
Two-Face.
your face is beautiful on both sides.
New wave Two-Face.
Last time I saw you, you were sitting there.
Wow.
She was about 3 hours ago in that pantry.
She's been in that same chair for a year. Has not moved.
She took a nap in bed. Okay, we should probably start something besides just rambling like madmen.
Yeah, let's
Isn't that
start
what
so
we
we can
do
actually
best?
begin officially rambling like madmen.
Why don't you start and tell them what you've done in the Batman franchise?
Validate your
and then we'll just
existence.
go down the
Validate why
line.
you're here, Nolan.
Yeah. What have you done in the Batman franchise?
What have I done?
What have you done?
I was Michael Keaton's body double in the versions that he did. A lot of people don't know I go by, my stage name for theatrical work is Christian Bale. You might have seen some of my work. And if all of you could not look me directly in the eye right now, that would be fantastic. Right? He gets it.
Swear to me!
Here. No, I was the kid in all the YouTube videos. No, nothing? Crickets? Okay. No, I was the Penguin. That's all I gotta say. I did Penguin in just about every Penguin version, I think, unless you've done others.
Hey, you populate Gotham.
You've been busy, Nolan.
Listen, I've been going since about 11 this morning. I'm a little bit punchy.
Oh, 11, 9:30. 9:30.
What are you populated?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking liquid courage. As the Eagles would say. Pour another shot of courage.
And you, sir?
And me, sir. I was first a Nightwing. Huge fans. And then I walked in for Arkham City, and then I walked in and found out that they also wanted me to play Two-Face. And yeah, she gave me a wink. Which was really cool because I was such a fan of the Batman the Animated Series, and Richard Mall, what he did with that character just became my template. And then cut to a few years later, I got approached and asked, and I freaked out because I was going to play the Joker. Yeah.
Woo! Give it up for the Penguin.
Are we going to do another Vine?
I couldn't get past it. There's like nothing. Everybody's looking at it like.
Has anybody seen the Vine
Wait
of
for
Nolan
Troy
and
and
I?
his hair to talk.
No one? No one's seen the Vine? It's brilliant. You have? Thank you.
It is. It's a brilliant Vine.
It's probably the best Vine ever.
That he did. He did it. It's all his. He was his brainchild. He got it. Yeah.
I don't want to
Second.
recreate it. And how about you, one Richard Epcar?
Oh, me.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I too play the Joker in Injustice, Gods Among Us. And I'm the Joker in this new Infinite Crisis thing, and I've done him before also in another game. And I'm also Solomon Grundy in a new thing, which I can't talk about. And I'm Commissioner Gordon in a new thing, which I can't talk about, which is kind of cool. It's actually fun being these different characters in the Batman world. I'm sure I speak for all of us that we I don't know about you guys. I shouldn't speak for you, but you know, I grew up watching this stuff and seeing it, and it just to be part of this universe is very cool. And I got to co-direct Arkham Origins, which was very, very fun to do. So that was a lot of fun. So that's we've all had some involvement with the Batman universe. And actually, you played the Joker too. All three of us have played the Joker.
Not yet.
Not yet? You haven't done it yet?
No, only two of us are Jokers.
Oh, two. There's only two Jokers.
Come on, people! These are the
Two
jokes.
Jokers on this. Two Jokers on this dais.
I got nothing left.
And by the way, I wouldn't date that girl. You know why? She's two-faced. Okay. I'm here all week. Try the veal.
Look out.
Did you make this? Will you do me a favor? I hate to embarrass you. Would you stand up and show everybody what we're talking about so we're not
She's
just...
beautiful.
Yes,
Look at
see?
her. Look at her.
That's-
Give her a round of applause. Come on.
She reminds me of the game Othello.
I
I like that. Did you make that?
Nothing.
I got it. I got it.
I got it. I feel like Dennis Miller.
Oh, now? Or Dennis Miller?
I think it's unfair that you're the only one that has a drink.
Yeah, well, you have a drink?
Well, it's coffee, though. I mean,
Sucker.
somebody run out and give me a martini.
I just found this in the bathroom.
It smells like degradation.
We have a question. Yes, you in the aisle. What is it?
Oh, there's
A
nothing
crawler?
like getting food from the audience.
Black tar heroin.
Yes.
Bring it on up.
They're brownies.
Do we have to smoke this?
This panel's gonna get really cool in about 10 minutes. I'm not.
What is this? Oh my God!
I know.
Oh, these are the ash ones.
No.
Where is it? Is that the brownie?
Can I say this till later?
This was almost going to be
Sleight of hand.
fun. This is almost.
That's great.
Are those
Thank
no-bake
you.
cookies?
Thank you very much.
Oh, of course
Awesome.
they are.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
right.
Yeah.
Man wanted.
I fell right in his lap.
I used to
yeah,
date
I'll
Chunky
get
Monkey,
set.
but
And
that's a
that's
whole
when
other
I
story.
knew. That's when I knew.
Say something intelligent.
Something intelligent.
Good night, Gracie.
Easiest setup ever. So here we are. We're 75 years into this legacy, this lore of Batman, and there would be no DC Comics without Batman. Everybody understands that, right? DC is Detective Comics. Batman was the progenitor of Detective. Okay. And here's something. Well, maybe this will stimulate something, or this will stimulate something.
Or the Chunky Monkey will stimulate something.
Somebody asked me, you know, how do you do a character that someone has owned for so long, or how do you own a character? And you don't. You never own a character. And this is my opinion. I'm sure I'm with two very respectable actors, or one. Sorry, Nolan. But you never really fully own a character. All you can do is simply be a custodian of it for a while. And that's like, who owns King Lear? Who owns
do.
Richard III? You know, you can't ever own that. You can interpret it, and you can do your twist on it. You can do your thing on it. But that character belongs to something larger than just you. So when you're asked to do something like the Penguin, who has been played by Burgess Meredith and other people throughout the years, or the Joker, who's been played by Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, Richard Epcar, Troy Baker, John DiMaggio, Kevin Michael Richardson, you can go down the list. It's like, how do you fully own this? And you don't. What you do is you simply find something that to you gets you jazzed about that role. You know, and for me, it was growing up watching the animated series, and it was I used to VHS tape all of the, because we didn't have TiVo. TiVo was like some sorcery that didn't exist. And I used to videotape every episode, and I would play it back. It came out at 4:30, and I was pissed if I came home from school and I missed it, but I at least taped it, And I would watch it back, and I remember pausing and watching, if anybody has a VHS player or remembers, when you paused it, it gave you like those wavy lines. It was like never like perfect still frame like you kids get with the Blu-rays and your DVDs and whatever.
It's all digital.
But I remember looking at that, and I would have to make it. I was like, okay, Kevin Conroy, whoever that is Batman. That's cool. And Bruce Wayne. Look at that. And not Mark Hamill, a lot like Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill is the Joker. And we didn't have IMDb. We didn't have the internet that we could look this stuff up. You just had to take everything on faith. And I remember looking and seeing directed by Andrea Romano. And I was like, one day, Andrea, you don't know this, but I'm going to work with you. And it was just something that I put out there. And
It'll happen.
yeah, 20 years later.
It'll happen.
Well, one day. You'll work.
It'll get there.
You want the extra wax on your car, Miss Romano?
You keep working, champ. You keep working hard, champ.
Someday you'll get in there. So I mean, it's funny to see everything kind of comes full circle, but you know these are roles that can never be owned. What Bob Kane did with Batman is so huge, and even like I don't know if anybody read what Jeff Johns did with the Earth Zero. Anybody read that? It was a complete juxtaposition of the entire Batman lore, where Alfred is like, and they actually did this with the new Batman series.
Beware the Batman. That's awesome. They only got one season out of it. It's
I know.
a good show.
Alfred is a badass. He's played by J.B. Blanc, and it's kind of like what Jeff Johns did with it, to where Thomas Wayne put Alfred in charge of Bruce, and he says, if anything ever happens to us, wink, wink, take care of our son. So this is such a huge universe, and it's gone through so many different iterations. But I don't know. I just said that. I'm just kind of curious to see what you guys think, because it's way easier.
I got to
How did I
actually.
know you were going to ask a question?
Yeah.
Ask a question.
Yeah, what do you think about the new Gotham?
Hate
come
it.
out?
No, I'm just playing. Jeff Johns is the executive producer on that. I think it's great.
Before Batman, before the Joker and all this stuff. When Bruce Wayne, he was little.
Is that a new series?
Gotham is a new series on CW? Fox. Sorry,
yeah.
Jesus. You're not that close to Atlanta. Jesus, guys. I think it's interesting. Like, if you look at Batman Year One, that's a story told from Gordon's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'll be curious to see, and I think the challenge that they have to overcome is finding a. Doesn't he look like Jonathan Rhys-Davies? Right there.
Exactly.
Sorry, they're like Sala from
I
Indiana
directed him.
Jones.
He was
It's
awesome.
great. I think their main obstacle is having a Batman show that doesn't have a Batman. You know what I mean? Does everybody know the show Gotham? Okay, there's you. It's basically, I mean, Star Wars was episode
Are we in
1
that show?
was a great. Phantom Menace was a great origin story, wasn't it?
Hey, this is all really exciting.
We're not in the show. We don't care.
Let's talk about Batman.
You said juxtaposition.
I got to meet Bob Kane.
You did?
I actually got to meet Bob Kane.
When was
And I don't
this?
know who that is.
That's the creator of
The
Batman.
creator of Batman. For the love of God, man.
God, yes, I know. It was for effect.
Can't believe you said that, mister.
Hello, Captain Literal.
Yeah, that was. And I got to tell you, this is a true story. It's kind of funny. Ellen and I, my wife Ellen Stern and I, were at a video place having our actors' demo reels edited. And here, sitting on the chair there waiting, was Bob Kane. And I said, "Oh my God, how you doing?" We talked. Very nice guy. Very nice. And we're having this conversation for a while. And he says to me at one point, and this is true. He says, "You know what you need to do to make it in this business? You got to come up with a character like Batman." I said, "Thank you, Mr. Kane. That's great. Thank you so much. I'll just do that. I'll come up with a character like Batman."
You know what you need to be rich?
Money.
Money. You get some of that stuff.
Yeah. You get $1 million, you'll be a millionaire. So that was helpful.
Well, you know it, Ken.
Not.
The world's your oyster. If you have oysters.
But you know what? He was lucky because he made a bundle of money. He kept his name attached to that project, and he made a lot of money on Batman. Whereas the guy who created Superman basically died a pauper, which was kind of a sad story. And Schuster and another guy. Anyway, I think he was like delivered coffee to the place where they created the comic at the end. It was really sad.
Man of Steel was such a great movie.
Especially the suit. Wasn't the suit great?
Kind of gay.
Not.
Again, I wasn't in any of this.
We don't care. All right, so let's just go. You guys have any questions for us?
Anybody with any kind of question? Oh, the Riddler.
Oh, the Riddler has a riddle for us.
Oh, no.
Riddle me this.
Read me that.
May I ask a question?
Uh-oh.
Wow, that's a question.
The man who invented it doesn't want it. The man who bought it doesn't need it. And the man who needs it doesn't know it. What is it?
A woman.
Oh, woman. Oh, woman.
A man who invented it doesn't want it. A man who needs it can't get it.
No, the man who invented it doesn't want it. The man who bought it doesn't need it. And the man who needs it doesn't know it.
A woman.
I didn't know women were invented, but hey, you know.
That's what. That's
Say,
what
wait,
it's
wait,
told
say
me.
it again. Say it again.
The man who invented doesn't want it. The
Man who
man
bought it
who
bought it.
bought it doesn't need it, and the man who needs it doesn't know it. Yes.
It's time. Next.
Tell us, what is it?
A coffin.
A coffin. A coffin, ladies and gentlemen. John Pardo, tell her what she's won.
I believe in being cremated.
That was wonderful. Security, could you escort her?
The ring.
That was very good.
just put it.
See, you know what? I'm terrible at riddles, so if I was Batman and gave me, everyone would die, because I would never solve one riddle.
Bad.
Yes, in the back.
Who's your favorite villain in the Batman series?
The Joker.
Oh wow, not loading us at all with. Who's your favorite villain? And who played Catwoman? I gotta say the Joker. Here's the thing about the Joker, though. It's that character again is so much bigger than just one actor. I love what Cesar Romero did in the '66 version. I think he was great to introduce people to that. It was a little safe.
Yeah, but Heath was pretty awesome.
And then, flash
He
forward.
took it on a whole
Well, then
other
you
direction.
look at what like Jack Nicholson did, and if anybody was going to play the Joker in the late '80s, early '90s, it was Jack Nicholson.
That was one of my favorite. Remember? Gotta get the face. Where does he get all those wonderful toys? It was the face, though. I used to watch the face going. But I could. Yeah.
Jack
I
Nicholson.
didn't date much.
Jack Nicholson required the least amount of makeup for his Joker. That's the
Yeah.
truth. And then what's so great is that kind of like in Batman, where it says he's not the hero that we want, but he's the hero that we need. Jack Nicholson, or what Heath Ledger did for Joker. Yeah. Okay. What Heath Ledger did for the Joker, which was Tom Waits. He even said that's like Tom Waits was his inspiration for the Joker. If you listen to any interview by Tom Waits, it's exactly what he sounds like. That's exactly the Joker that we needed. So I don't know, man. I mean, to me, like when I read The Killing Joke, that was Mark Hamill's voice in my head. Okay? Yeah, use the microphone. Sure.
Have you ever used one?
For me, it was what Mark did with the Joker, because that was the first time that I ever just heard a voice for the same version of a Joker that I'd seen. Does that make sense? Like with because Batman, the Tim Burton movie came out before the animated series did. But I'd read the comic books before then, so I wanted to see like that version, the animated version of a Joker, and Mark Hamill was the voice for that. So like when I read The Killing Joke, that's the voice that I heard for it. When I read Arkham Asylum, that was the voice that I heard for it. So Mark Hamill's kind of always been my Joker, and kind of always will be. All right, cool.
I have to say, I to this day, I've not heard Mark Hamill do the Joker.
What?
To this day, I've not heard him do it, and that's true. And it always cracks me up when people say online, I'm trying to sound like him when I do the Joker, because I've never heard him do it. But I have to agree with you with Cesar Romero, because he was the first person I saw do that character, and I think he did an amazing job. And it's so funny because it was such a silly, goofy show, but they got some of the greatest actors, Burgess Meredith, Cesar Romero, there's some really incredible actors of the day to come on the show and be these...
Adam West.
Like I said, Cesar Romero and Burgess Meredith. You're not gonna say Burt Ward, are you?
Burt Ward.
Oh, come on.
Hey, Burt Ward raises Newfoundlands.
Is he
I
really?
beg your pardon?
Yeah, the dog.
Oh, good for him.
I thought you meant like people that lived in Nova Scotia.
Rescues Newfoundlands. He's a good guy.
But I have to say, I kind of, and we talked about this when we were in London,
Something
actually.
I can teach.
I had a different scenario a little bit because I think you guys, when you stepped into those roles, they were rebooting those characters, and they kind of wanted you to sound a little bit like.
It had to point, because we were in
Had
the
to go
Arkham
into those
universe,
characters.
you had to believe that this was a younger version of what Kevin had done and a younger version of what Mark had done. So we had the benefit of these rails to be on. If someone had come to me and go, hey, create a new Joker, I've been like, the door is there and you validate, right? Because I mean,
You could have done it.
Same thing. Well, I don't know, man. Because it's the same thing. It's like when Under the Red Hood came out, and I was with John when he found out that he got that role, and when he played the Joker. Has anybody seen Under the Red Hood? It's amazing, right? One of my favorite lines of the whole thing. I'm gonna need some new guys, and hopefully not them because they're dead. Great. And I was at the Geisha house with John DiMaggio, and he was like, I'm gonna play the Joker. I was like, oh shit, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It was this joy met with like, oh dude, you've got huge shoes to fill. Because do you do Mark Hamill or do you do Heath Ledger? Because it had come out they started it right after Dark Knight. So he's like, I think I'm gonna do my own thing. And I would have hated to have been in John's situation where it's like, top that. Do something like that, but not that, but better than that, but kind of that, but not that. It was terrible. So, I mean,
No, see, for me, I kind of have the other attitude about it because when I went in to audition for the Joker for these guys, basically they said to me straight up, we don't want you to sound like Nicholson, we don't want you to sound like Heath Ledger, we don't want you to do Mark Hamill, we don't want you to do any of that. We want you to be the Joker. So I don't even know where this thing came out of me, but it came out of me. But and then I put it back in. But and then I took it out again. And then I put it back. So for me, I feel it was more liberating not to have to try to. To me, it's weird to try to play an actor playing a character. I think it's really strange. So I found it liberating to just go in and be that character and not have to worry about any other constraints. So for me, I found it very liberating. And what about you?
I never read for the Joker.
Did you ever meet Bob Kane?
No, Bob Crane. We took pictures.
Oh, Bob Crane.
Again, missed. It's fantastic. I was
by
there.
that much.
I was
We
there.
happen to have some video of you
I was
with
duct
Bob
taped in
Crane.
his garage.
I wanted to do Gilbert Godfrey doing the Joker. but then he said, I can't do it.
Very few people know this, but Gilbert Gottfried is actually blind, and he uses his voice as sonar. It's like,
That door is 50 yards away.
Well, it makes sense then.
You know what? Now, Gilbert's turn as the Joker was inspiring. A lot of people probably
Just
didn't
about
see
to do a Danny Thomas spit take on you.
that. Yeah. Well, I can't speak to the Joker. I can tell you that when people ask me about the Penguin, how I got inspiration for that, and it was animation. They sent me the picture of what he looked like with the bottle jammed in his face. It's like instead of a monocle, it was actually the end of like a thick glass Coke bottle. So you see that he's all hunched over, but all I heard was Bricktop from Snatch. If you remember the movie Snatch, Bricktop.
sugar? No thanks.
No thanks, I'm sweet enough. But it was not his voice, but as much as his attitude.
He ran to town.
Do you know what pigs do? How many pigs it takes to eat a person? Remember that? He did
They
that
will
all
go
the-
through bow like
Give me
butter.
that fucking shooter. I mean, for me, if they ever did like a live version, that would be my casting choice. I mean, he's a brilliant actor, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
He's
done
in
all
Lock,
the-
Stock. He plays a great guy. He
Yeah.
plays the bartender in Lock,
Bartender,
Stock.
great guy. But then in that but you know, he
Snatch.
played the most lovable. He's going down in the fourth. So you take that kind of attitude,
And you put this here. Batman's going down in the fourth.
and it was just and that just kind of that attitude helped me find that character, along with the animations. He looked uncomfortable and hunched up. You know, clearly had not stretched the traps.
But see, that's kind of like what you're talking about too, where you've got Burgess Meredith, you got Danny DeVito, that are probably the most iconic versions of those characters. I can't remember who played him in the animated series. Does anybody know?
Abe Flotnick.
Huh? Hal Williams?
Paul Williams?
Paul Williams?
But just because he's little.
That's Pee Wee Herman, right? That's Paul Rubens. I apologize. I didn't
Paul
realize
Williams
there was such a large Pee Wee Herman
Is that
contingent.
Paul
true?
Williams was the guy sitting next
Somebody
to Paul
Google
Rubens
that
in the
right
theater.
now. Is that true?
Two guys that got shot in the theater. Abraham Lincoln, the guy that sat in front of Paul Rubens. Oh! It's late, guys. Terrible.
What, too soon? Who's the guy?
Right. Paul Williams, do you know Paul Williams?
Oh, kinda short
Are you talking about that guy? The
blonde
guy
hair
from
who wrote all the
Rowan and
songs.
Martin's Laugh-In?
No, not he wasn't in Laugh-In.
My God.
He wrote the something.
That's Henry. No, not Henry
wrote a
Gibson.
bunch of songs for the
Paul
Muppets.
Williams, like he wrote Muppets. Yeah, he's on the new
Yeah,
Daft Punk
yeah,
album.
Right. He wrote a lot
He's
of
a
songs.
composer.
Is it true? Does anyone IMDb him?
Is that the right Paul Williams?
I don't know.
I mean, it's not like it's a common name at all. Sweetheart, sit down.
Did I mention that I met Bob Kane? That I did.
You did meet Bob
Distracting
Kane.
us.
I like that. What?
Who is it?
It's the same
Holy
Paul
crap!
Williams.
I mean, wow. Well, good for him.
I did not know that. That is odd, weird, wacky
Don't
stuff.
do that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been working on my Johnny, so.
I know, but
when they wrote that, they thought would do it well, so they didn't go for just voice acting, they went for stage or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Who here knows who played Alfred?
Abe Flotnick. You know what's great though?
Hold on.
Okay.
That's right, the late great.
Wow.
Yeah, just passed. It was a great.
Well, I was going
album.
to say what was great about what you just said too, and I do that too, and I don't know if you do it as well, but to see a visual of a character, then you can come up. At least for me, I can come up with a voice immediately. I see a picture of the guy, what he looks like, and then all of a sudden this stuff just comes out.
Yeah.
So you don't have to
Like,
think
have
about
you ever
it.
noticed though? You can now either take the character, like with Penguin, he was all bunched up, you know, and he looked like he was waddling along, and like he'd be breathing, even when he's walking. You know, the people when they walk, and you know they're coming, they're like corduroys, you know, and they just. Well, but the other thing that you can do is that's nice is you draw to the opposite of that. Like sometimes you'll see, like Kevin Michael Richardson has done this brilliantly. If you ever seen the Cleveland Show, you know, he's Cleveland Jr. He's the little one. Big kid, and this voice comes out, Daddy. And you're just like, that's just such a great choice, because most people be doing this, kid, you know, and he did this one, Daddy. And you're just like, and I looked at him one day and said, how'd you come up with it? He said, I was just goofing around, and they like that.
In addition to everything, is like Kevin has probably of all of us, with the exception of Steve Bloom, has the deepest voice of anybody. Anybody.
I mean, he down here, like he real low. But DiMaggio will get down there real low.
Yeah, you never want to be in the same room with John DiMaggio and KMR. That's just,
No, yeah,
you'll wet yourself.
I feel like I have to go back through puberty. Hey, you guys want to go get a phosphate?
You and John in the same room is pretty bad too.
I'll tell you a quick story. It has nothing to do with this panel. I did a
Are you going to tell this story?
I did a movie. I don't know. I did a DVD movie about dinosaurs. I don't remember. And it was these three dinosaurs. There are three security guards. And the
Lost
kid
in
goes through
Time?
What? Did you just yell masturbate? What?
That's what I heard.
I stopped doing those films.
When? No, you haven't.
We're gonna reboot them at the IMAX. Look out!
Oh, you.
Continue.
Swinging it. Anyways, did a thing. It was three security guards going times, and then it's like a kid falls asleep. Something happens, and we're dinosaurs, and it was me, John DiMaggio, and Tom Kenny doing these. And they put us in a room. It was Jack Fletcher who was directing.
I'm sorry, Jack.
And we sat there, and it should have taken 45 minutes. was 3.5 hours and it was one of the few times you could shut me up because John was up there doing his thing, and Tom's doing it, and it was just they going back and forth, and I'm in the middle. It was like tennis, and then I just started jumping in, and you would look across the thing, and the engineer was just kind of doing this, just watching, and nobody. They had completely lost. They lost the room. It just went off, and Jack Fletcher's the director. Said, "Gentlemen, should we get back to the script?"
There is a script that's been written that's really good. We should do
That's
it.
a better Jack than I do. That was pretty good.
Jack is like this. Jack directed all the Final Fantasies. He brought a lot of the Miyazaki stuff to the States. He's just incredible. And he's got gray, long hair down to here, and he wears these glasses that are tinted dark, like his soul. And he's just the most lovable. He's one of the greatest
He's
directors
really
I've
good
ever worked
director,
with. And he's incredible. Anyway,
He's a good guy.
he's a good guy.
Yeah, no, but this has nothing to do with anything. What?
Yes. Yes, question?
No, I'm kidding.
No, come on.
What?
Question.
This is all I can think of. It might be kind of like a dumb question.
Probably.
Like, what should we expect from the new Arkham City? Like, I mean, the Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. Batmobile?
No, I mean like, I don't know. It's like the only Batman-related thing I can think of. And the other thing I can think of is like, should we have high hopes for Batman versus Superman? And that's also kind of like a dumb question because it's Zack Snyder managed the stuff.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll take one. I'll take it.
I don't know is a good answer.
First of all, Arkham Knight.
He knows. Troy always knows.
I mean, Rocksteady originated this whole Arkham universe, right? And when I first found out they were doing Arkham Asylum, I was like, there's no way they can do that graphic novel. There's no way, because it's too twisted. When you have Batman jabbing a piece of mirror into his skin just to stay sane, you can't make that game. But what they did with it was an incredible interpretation of it, and they made it palpable and they made it attainable to a lot of people. They continued that with Arkham City, became bigger. Arkham Origins, I think, was amazing, and especially for it to be outside of a different studio, for them to continue in that franchise and make you feel like it's in the same world and it not be Rocksteady was an accomplishment. Now it's back at Rocksteady. Rocksteady has announced this is their swan song. They're going out with the Arkham franchise with Arkham Knight. It's going to be huge, like bigger than GTA as far as a open world sandbox game that you can drive the Batmobile in. It's going to be incredible, and it's huge. And I'm really, really glad that they slipped. I'm glad that they pushed, because it was originally supposed to come out, this year in October, or November, or whatever, and they pushed it next year. That just means that they're working harder to make it the game that they wanted it to originally be. I'm all behind that. So I have huge hopes for Arkham Knight. I think it's going to be incredible. G-O-T-Y.
I just hope Ventriloquist appears.
What's that?
The Ventriloquist, Scarface. Like, I just want to throw it out in the open that, like, I just hope that they feature Scarface.
Dude, that's a pretty fringe little villain.
I just find it pretty interesting, though.
I think he's very. What's the
Scarface,
guy that is the puppet master for Scarface? I know, but what's his name? Don't Google it yet.
No, Google it.
Because
Nobody has a
honestly,
memory.
I've only ever seen that guy in the animated series. I've seen him in the comics before too, but he was really only prevalent.
But they did have Scarface in Arkham Asylum. He's one of the Scarecrow hallucinations.
That's true. That's true. I'd be curious to see if he's in. I don't know if he's in there or
We've
not.
lost four. We've lost four. They're walking to the back. Don't turn
Bathroom
around.
is to the left.
Don't turn
and then
around.
Second.
Don't
As
turn
far as
around. We're talking about you.
As far as the Batman.
Don't look back. I saw that. What? No. Oh, wait.
trading of the guard.
Oh, we got four in.
We
got
literally
four in.
traded 4
They
players.
got a new team in. They traded at the door.
As far as the
Oh, wait, we're losing two more. Get up, sit down. Sit your asses down. Nobody leaves my panel. If you do, it's Troy Baker's fault.
Yep.
It's Troy's fault.
For Batman versus
Words are
Superman,
too big.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I want it to be good. I really do. I mean, the only way that you can have a really good Batman versus Superman, Batman keeps Kryptonite locked away in the Batcave. So I agree. Someone just got teleported. That's crazy. I think that it could be really cool, but you have to make it to where Batman doesn't trust Superman, and that you actually believe that Batman can take Superman. So
I do Lego Batman stuff
You have to believe that Ben Affleck can take Superman. I don't know about you guys, changing the subject quickly, but
Thank God, change it.
I don't know about you, but I thought it was really cool to record on the Warner Brothers lot, to do a Batman game on the Warner Brothers lot. Did you guys like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, well I have an office there.
Oh, well, excuse
It's
the
the bathroom.
frig out of me.
It's the bathroom.
It's
the
bathroom.
It's the
your
bat room.
they don't allow me there, but I clean up.
No, isn't that? I thought that was pretty cool to do that there.
Yeah, well, no, they built these. You mean the new studios down under the
Well,
underground?
we worked on both stages. We were on ADR 1 and 4 downstairs. Or is it 3 downstairs?
Yeah, but it's cool when you pull up to the lot.
5, yeah.
Excuse
4
me, you
is
pull
at
up to the
ranch,
lot. We're
that's
talking
right.
about you pull onto the lot IDs, and I mean it's really cool. Yeah, there's the Warner Brothers
tower.
big water
Yeah, it's
tower.
Warner Bros. I mean, that
It's
is
a cool
Batman,
place.
really. That's Batman's home, so it was kind of
Or
cool.
Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. 6 people. It's sad.
The Animaniacs were in the water tower. Right.
I know you may not want to do it, and you're not going to be asked to do it, but do you think any one of you could take the role of Batman up in any video game?
I think all 3 of us could do it.
Would you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I have.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you play Batman already.
Yeah. Lego Batman, man. Oh,
What do you mean
no.
besides Lego?
He's.
Lego's
Lego's cool.
institution, man.
I am Batman. I am Batman.
I'm Superman.
No, I.
I am. You know that, right?
What's that?
We never got to record together, but I do Superman.
Oh, in Infinite Crisis?
No, in the Lego.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the one you're always trying to. Like, I don't trust you. I'm like, come on, man.
Yes.
Yes, we do. He
Yes.
doesn't know.
We never record together, which
No,
is
we never get to
smart.
record together.
See, Nolan could do it on camera. He's got the look for it. He would look
Yeah.
great in that cowl and everything.
I used to have the look.
You still do, buddy.
I'm too small.
Get
too
shaved.
old.
Hit the gym.
But that little show called Pretty Little Liars just happens to be on Warner Brothers lot, huh?
Yeah?
There's any
Do you
14-year-old
guys do that on
girls
Warner
here?
Brothers
Yeah.
Do you hear how?
Any 14-year-old girls here, they'll know. Mr. Hastings is
Yes.
not A.
Joker in the back there, what do you have to say?
I am losing the crowd.
Oh God. Oh, I had to make a burnt offering, and
Nice one.
you know, I mean, Mark himself said that he was after 20 years, almost 25 years, hanging up the clown Prince of Crime shoes, and that was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I'll do this, because it's different when you do like a different iteration of the Joker, but when you're doing something within the same universe as someone who's done it before, I originally said no. I was like, no, no. But because he was like, I'm done. If they do the Killing Joke, then I'll come back. But I'm not interested. I've done it for a long time, and God bless him. I mean, he's done it again for like quarter of a century. So he's paid his dues, and it's hard, not just vocally, but just like it takes a toll on you, man, to be inside of a head like that. But I've heard from other people that he's been like, that kid's good, and that he's given me the thumbs up. But I would love for like Mark himself to be like, I would love that.
But instead, he'll probably spit in your mouth.
Probably spit in my mouth.
And that and the fact that he has $80 billion from Star Wars, so he doesn't have
hush,
to
you were all
care
thinking
about
it.
that.
I
What?
really cared about
Nolan,
doing the
big
joke.
question.
I really cared about doing the question, but then JJ called, and now I'm in the movies.
Exactly. Beard looks good. All right, who hasn't asked a question?
Yeah, just dig your look.
You should see his shirt.
What? Should we? Calls you up.
Ah, beautiful.
Nice.
Sit down.
Deadpool. Wrong panel.
No, it could be this panel. I haven't said much.
Yes, you have a question.
Nobody cares about the Penguin. It's all jokers and you guys. Yes.
Any characters that you wanted to be but have not done yet? DC Universe, Marvel Universe, any characters
Of the DC or Marvel?
Daredevil. I've always been a big Matt Murdock fan. I mean, that's.
Oh, girl, she's like, preach it. Lord Jesus, make this happen. I'm attracted to heroes that aren't superheroes, if that's okay. That's why I like Batman so much. But yeah, I would, if something that hasn't been done really yet, I'm not Ben Affleck, no. I would love to do Daredevil. That would be me.
Catwoman. I could rock it as
Good answer.
I just do more of a husky voice.
Just like, this is Catwoman back from Sweden. I just got back from Oslo. The doctor took care of things, and now...
But instead of scratching, I just lift my tail and spray on you.
Now I own you.
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
What? My cat did it to our couch.
Nolan North was twerking at the panel.
Yeah, that's it. That's a brilliant idea. And then the villain, who's the villain?
The Spayer.
Who's the greatest spayer of all time? Bob Barker! Bob.
Make sure you get your animals spayed and don't have them procreate.
Yeah. And his team of beautiful women.
I got to spend time with him before he died. That was great.
Did he try to spay you?
I'm just joking too. No.
With his teeth.
Oh, damn.
Who would I do? I like to do
Bob
James
Barker
Bond.
die?
Is he in the Bat? He's not in the Batman universe.
I think Bob is still alive.
I've got the watch. Thank you. That's true. I do have the watch. I'd love to give a shot at Batman. I'd love to try to do Batman. He's a great character, and I've always loved him. So yeah, one of these days.
Try to do Batman. You'd kill Batman. You'd be awesome.
Thank you.
You would.
I love this guy.
And you wouldn't have to do any kind of, I mean, I'd have to do something with the voice to do Batman. You just do your voice. Be
Thank
bitching.
you. Well, see.
Richard Epcar for
What do
Batman.
you think? What do you think? Write your congressman.
I would
Thank
probably
you, Nolan.
do
I appreciate
Penguin
it.
again.
All right, we
We have time for like 2 more. I gotta get
Who hasn't asked?
this gentleman right here. Don't be surprised. Yes.
So my question is, Hamill always said that he was the only one in the recording studio who would stand up. So they would do it on ensemble, and everyone else would be sitting down with the stuff.
Because they're lazy.
Standing and ranting and waving his arms around because he had to bring energy to the character. So for you guys also, it's a process question. What do you do when you're doing the villains to really give that energy? Is it just you sit down and read off the script, or do you move around and wave your arms?
I sit now. I'm a sitter.
You bum.
I'm a sitter. No, no. Sometimes I sit because and I'll have them lower the mic when I do the Penguin or something because I'll sit there, and because I want to I cave it in. I kind of, I don't know. I mean, if I'm doing a character that might be, I may lift, but I sit. I'm lazy. I sit because I'm lazy, but I definitely try to. And people laugh, Chris Zimmerman always used to laugh, and you've directed me. So, I mean, some people have noticed that,
Like I'll do this face. I can't do it when I'm doing this one. I can't just, it doesn't.
I'll just put a whoopee
It
cushion on
doesn't
your
even
chair.
work if I just do it. You gotta do this face.
I don't know, something happens, so I try to, it helps me. It's
If it
not
helps you to
something
sit, then you should sit.
Yeah, no, and the other thing is, I don't know, I just, even for yelling sessions, I'll sit because I can feel like you have to yell from the diaphragm. And I don't, sitting, sometimes I'll put my fingers right here just to kind of feel it and just kind of, okay, there,
They don't want to hear where you
I don't
put
know
your
where it
fingers, okay? Take it easy. This is a PG show over here.
Get your finger.
So, by the way, best line
Airplane.
in Airplane. Get your fingers. Robert Stack, get your fingers out of here. You don't know where that finger's been, and that guy just.
That's a great
I just
movie.
watched that because you said that the other day.
My kids, I got my kids to
I
watch
love
it.
that movie.
They kept replaying the boobs.
Yeah.
Looks like a big town.
I read everything off my iPad, just because I'll drop paper like crazy because I'm a klutz.
And it makes noise.
And I can always tell how like intense the session has been by how much spit is on my iPad. But yeah, it's you adopt a certain posture. Like that totally makes sense for me to do the penguin like that. And I think that you.
What do you do?
The Jokers, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's just like it was this a lot. Like I had like this.
Don't you
kind
go
of
full
thing.
cosplay though?
Yeah. Well, naked.
That's full cosplay.
Why are there more guys that like? Yeah, I mean, I don't ever, because they did video reference of us for the animators to kind of like when we did the lines, everything to kind of match what our expressions did. I would never want to see those because those have got to be the most ridiculous tapes of us ever. But when, again, it's voice acting is the term, but understand that it's still at the root of it. It's acting, it's understanding a character, and it's being able to channel all of those things that you would have on stage or film or whatever into one specific conduit. So that sometimes looks ugly. So if you want to do this thing, this voice acting thing, you have to understand it's not just about having a cool voice. You really got to be able to put yourself through duress in order to. I mean, sitting there and being like this for 4 hours. That's going to be a process.
I've usually done it too.
With your fingers in yourself.
True.
Yeah. I
wear gloves, man.
Getting back to the original question, I prefer to stand. That's just me. I think I have more energy when I stand, and I think I can support my diaphragm better when I stand. But I completely understand, for a character in particular, if you feel that he's like that and you want to be like that, I think it's great. I think it's really up to the individual actor. For me, I think if I had sat in a chair, I would just get too, relaxed and lethargic, and I feel I have more energy when I stand, so I always stand at my sessions. That's just me, though.
He's also the tallest in the room. So it may just be kind of...
There you go.
It's all right.
Is it a good one? It better be a good question. I'm going to pick the last one.
Yes.
I got to go with the guy with the knife in the back there.
Awesome.
We hate them.
You know what? The only one that's kind of tough is when a guy walks up, like as Nathan Drake from Uncharted, and he's jacked. He's like, hey, I'm dressed like you. And I'm like, yeah, yes, you are. But you look like you could climb that mountain. Yeah.
Is that it? Are we done?
I mean, do we have
One
to
more
go?
really good question.
One
Is
more.
it a really good? It's got to be a
I kind
great
of went
question.
Sergeant Pepper's a little bit over there. Nolan, you pick.
What? That guy right there, the glasses and the beard. Yeah, you. I don't know why, you're just right there.
So wait, do you think that Batman's kind of a jerk with what he does for his job? Like, he doesn't kill his enemies. They keep escaping Arkham, and they kill, innocent people, and they go back to Arkham and escape and kill more. Do you think he should, take care of the problem permanently, or...
Batman needs to start killing people. Because otherwise, all he is that he's just another, the rich dude from that, what's that romance novel that everybody bought?
Harlequin Romance?
Wuthering Heights?
Yeah. Basically, Bruce Wayne is nothing more than the rich guy in 50 Shades of Grey, but with different kinds of toys.
That's not right.
And that guy stabbed more people than Bruce Wayne does.
On that note, thank you guys very much.
Thank you, guys.
It's been awesome. Thanks so much.